Hi friends, it's Kristen, or Krusty if you prefer to call me that. That is fine. For today's video, I am ranking my last 10 palettes that I've tried. Um, I'm actually on like 14, but I just do 10 at a time because it's tough. It's tough. So we will get into it. So I look at things like color story, formula, just how I'm feeling at the time, how likely I am to reach for it, stuff like that. Um, really no bad palettes, I would say. Just some I prefer more. For number 10, we have What's Up Beauty, the Flirtique Eye and Cheek palette. So this does have a blush in it. So if I do get a palette like this, I try not to think about the face products because that's not what I'm ranking. So here's the color story here, kind of neutral and basic, which is not my go-to. I really do enjoy What's Up Beauty shimmers, and these are good too. Quality was pretty decent, except for the first time I wore it, it was like gone in a couple hours. It was very weird. I didn't seem to have that problem the other times I tried it out, but it did kind of fade. The shimmers were still nice, so mostly just color story. I don't see myself reaching for it. It might be nice to travel with. I don't travel with a lot of makeup usually. I just kind of go all natural. So if you see me out in the wild, sorry. Number 9 is from Profusion. It's the Neon palette. Kind of hard to open. Kind of that cheap plastic packaging that can be a little difficult. I do like the formula. It was very pigmented, blended pretty nicely. Really the big reason that it's further down on the list is some of these neons, probably most of them I have in the Surge palette, I believe, from Blend Bunny. And then like these oranges are very similar, so I felt like we could have like done a little bit more, a little something different. And then there's just one shimmer. So this like yellow, kind of looks a little orange in the pan, but it's mostly yellow. It's the only shimmer, and it's not super impactful, and you just don't have a lot of options for shimmers, which I love a good shimmer, so that's why that is ranked a little bit lower. For number 8, we have the So Elemental palette from ColourPop. This is a pretty cool tone bluish gray. I do like the color story. It just didn't perform the best on my eyes. It creased quite a bit, which does happen. I have older, wrinkly, hooded eyes, so that does happen, but it was pretty noticeable. It didn't last terribly long. It was okay. And then I have these colors into different palettes that work better for me. Number 7, another ColourPop palette, Just My Luck. This performed a little bit better for me than the So Elemental. And I do like green eyeshadow, and I do think this color story has a good, like a decent amount of range. You can go a little bit brighter, a little bit lighter, and then you kind of got some grungy greens. So there's a decent array of colors. That middle green shimmer is really pretty. It is monochromatic, even though there is a pretty decent range. So it's probably the biggest reason that it's a little bit lowish on the list. The quality, it worked better on my eyelids than the So Elemental, as I said. That might not be a ColourPop thing, that might be a me thing. But anyway, that's just my luck, so it's pretty. The middle part is where I tend to have the most problems ranking things. Generally, I kind of know what's going to be in like the last 3-ish. The first 3-ish, it's the middle that really tends to make me think, makes me work for my ranking. And just like the other like I enjoy the other palettes, I don't dislike them. These really, I would say, are really good palettes. Just something, you know, had to be higher. So for number 6, we have Cosmic Beauty 'Tis the Season. Obviously, this is a little bit of an older palette. I actually got it around my birthday in April. I just haven't played with it yet. And here's the color story. There are some reds. Reds are not my go-to shades, but I like purples, oranges, greens. I don't know. I'm just not drawn to it right now, is really the biggest thing. And that can change. Sometimes vibes change, you know. I'm just not super drawn to it. There was nothing wrong with the formula. I just liked the things going forward a little bit better. They had special shades or a different color story that I was a little more drawn to. So, but still a very good palette. For number 5, we have DD Signature, the Lioness Heart. This is really where I was like going in between the two, because this is a really pretty color story. Not like the most cohesive just looking at it, I will say, but I ended up making some really pretty looks. There is a red in there, not a red eyeshadow girl, and I will say this pink was kind of patchy, powdery, not the best pigmentation. I had a little bit of a hard time building it up, but these shimmers are pretty special. They're really pretty. Like, you could use that as a highlight, put it all over the lid, put it in the inner corner. Like, that's very versatile. I think it was the shimmers that really drew this one into a little bit higher than 'Tis the Season. The mattes worked really well too, except for that pink one. So that is number 5. And then number 4 is the Little Mermaid from Sigma. Really pretty, lots of things that you can do with it. A lot of very shimmery, lovely shades. Some of the shimmers are a little more like satiny, which is not my thing, but the shimmers were really nice, really beautiful. The mattes really blended well, and a lot of it is the color story. There's a lot you can do with it, and there's really no shades in here that I wouldn't use, or, you know, like the red shade in the other one, or like the pink one that didn't perform the best. So that's why that is at number 4. And at number 3, we have the Mighty Monster palette from Odin's Eye and Annette's Makeup Corner. Another red shadow. But this is kind of an orangey red. This is just really pretty. I got this in their mystery box in April. None of the shades I wouldn't use. You can go a little bit more neutral. You can go a little lighter, a little bit darker. And those shimmers the shimmers really get me. They're just gorgeous, beautiful. So she is at number 3. At number 2, we have our spooky season one from Nomad, the Salem Witch City. Just beautiful. I think formula-wise, Nomad is some of my favorite shadows. They just blend together. The mattes blend together great. The shimmers are great. Once again, just kind of like these tones here, I'm not drawn to. Love the purples, the greens, these oranges, just really kind of right here are not a color story that I'm always drawn to. So I think that's kind of why that ended up at number 2 instead of number 1. But I love this palette. I've used it several times. Number 1, this is my only palette from this company. It is an overseas company, indie palette. Actually, I'm going to leave the sleeve on. I usually don't keep the sleeves. I did with the Witch City Salem. It's over there. But it's the Artitude Cosmetics Metamorph palette. Got the butterflies. Then you take the sleeve off. It has this beautiful lady. And there we have the inside. The mattes were great. There are some special shimmers in there. You can go colorful, you can go a little murky, you can go a little neutral. So there's a lot of diversity in there as well. It just worked really well. I was very impressed. I'm very glad I picked this up. And yeah, it just worked really good. I really like the color story. So that's why she is number 1. So that is my last 10 palettes. Like I said, none of them really bad, just some that I'm drawn to a little bit more than others. Like the formula a little bit more, but none of them were bad. This was a good 10 palettes. I'm trying to be very like picky about what I keep and what I use. Like, you know, I don't want to just use it to use it. I want to actually use stuff that I'm going to keep and try and enjoy. So, all right, guys, that is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below, send your friends. We have fun here. Hopefully I'll see you soon. Bye.